All right, how we doing today? Today is December 9th, like 7:30 in the morning. So I'm just taking a little break in between runs here. So I need to get a video to let you guys know what I do, and I've gotten very successful at it at my little transportation slash gig business. But I want to get right into it. So this is a video that I've been wanting to put out. I just hadn't had a chance. It's dawned on my mind here probably about an hour ago, and let me do this while it's fresh on my mind. So today's video is going to be about people that's been unemployed, okay? Probably for up to, let's see here, 9 months that are in a lot of debt, okay? So I've done some research, and I can kind of relate to this because I was there at one point in time to where, okay, the average person out of work right now is at least $5,000 in debt, and I'll say at least for one reason. Because let's just say, a lot of people in this are new in this situation. Okay, when maybe you're somebody that been through this like 2 or 3 times, it may be normal to you. Okay, like me, you could take everything away from me, and I could still start over. I'll find a way. All right, but I feel like I've just worked my way to this point to where I can make the whatever proper adjustments that I need to make. But for some that are probably less fortunate, so even if they have, let's say earlier this year, like $1,000 a week, that's $600 for pandemic assistance, and then another $350, $400 for unemployment. Okay, it's still not enough for many people to make ends meet. Okay, some people may have been fortunate to have 2 people or have their spouse or their partner on that type of assistance too, and some people may have got the money and maybe worked a little bit, and they were able to keep maybe a partial unemployment or partial pandemic assistance. But for many, it still was not enough. So you know what they probably started doing? They started burning credit. All right, for the people who are eligible to obtain credit, or people that have good credit. So they probably burned, let's say $500 to $1,000 a month, and next thing you know, they're in $5,000. And some people are in much more debt than that. Okay, and a lot of that has to do with, for some people, not all, with their lifestyles. All right. Some people like to, especially some that are close to me, like to do stuff like go and buy clothes and, for the ladies. All right. Want to, buy cosmetics and like to keep their hair and nails done or whatever. Okay. Gentlemen, getting all their fresh gear, gold and stuff like that. For me, you guys like to travel. All right. Whining and dining, ladies. And I'm not, trying to be maybe disrespectful to the people that like to live those lavish lifestyles, because I know that some people, they may take that extra money and provide it to their families. I know that some people have kids that they want to try to help put through college, or whatever they need to do. Some may even bend over backwards to take care of of maybe their grandchildren, because you have some in situations that they have their children staying with them because they can't afford to keep a place, and they may end up moving in their families and children. I know that. But for many people, some people have a bad spending problem. That's all I'm saying. And that thought, as we become in these darker times, need to be eradicated. All right. I can relate to that because I can remember back in 2008, I had just got out of the Army recently, and I wasn't working, but I couldn't get unemployment because I was medically retired out of the Army, so they was taking care of me that way. But I had a place, and I tried to find a job, but it didn't work out that way. All right, and I was supposed to go overseas a contract, but some things happened, and I couldn't get overseas at the time that I was supposed to go, and I ended up going later that year. It was 2009. All right, so I putting myself like in a bind and all that. But I like doing some of those things. I just moved to Vegas at the time, okay, right after I got out of the Army. And I may wanted to go eat, maybe go down to the Strip and hang out, all right, hit up the parties and stuff like that. And, those are back in my players or whatever, player days where, I had a few women at the time, all right, that I may have flew out or may have went to see and stuff like that, had company, had company at the time. And I was trying to do a little bit of semi-pro basketball, so I was contributing some of that money to go travel to places like Utah and Arizona. Maybe I could get a tryout and all that. So some of the money I think was for good use. Some of it wasn't. Now that I'm 12 years older, I still like nice stuff just like everybody else, but I don't need to do that type of stuff, all right? I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and, I do different stuff with my money now, okay? That I'm almost 50 now. I'll be 50 in 6 months, but you would think that at one point in time, you may want to retire. If you have a family and all that, you may want to set aside some money. Maybe if you wanted to, I don't know, send something to your children or grandchildren or whatever, or if you may want to go file to go see them, or if your grands are in another state, or if you wanted to, I don't know, go to Florida or Alaska one day, and you don't have to get permission to get off work. All right, then one day, if you get to that point, you could be able to do that if you could stack some money aside. If you don't know anything else about economics or, saving money and all that, one thing that you could do, I remember this old man telling me, we used to have that
New
old
text message from +1 5742410 402.
Sorry about that. Okay. Back to what I was saying. So if you had that old man in your neighborhood, I can remember growing up, you had that old man in your neighborhood there. Then what he would tell you is, hey, when you get paid, take your money from the source, set 10 to 15% aside in a separate account, don't touch it. You could do that, and then let's say when you get paid, if you're disciplined enough to do that for 5 years, you look up and you figure you'll have a nice little stash or whatever. So if you get to maybe a time where you're out of work, then maybe you could use a little bit of that or whatever to, do whatever you got to do, or if for a rainy day, or if you got to cover some bills and stuff like that, your unemployment is not paying you and all that. And there's some people that are smart enough, all right, they have that kind of forward thinking. So I salute you guys. But again, for many, we need to encourage some. We need to encourage some to I had somebody, hey, get away from me. We need to encourage some people to have that same type of mindset. I'm sorry about that. I had a beggar to come to me or whatever. And the bad thing about it is this guy just got done, relieving himself right over here by a dumpster near me. And this guy's going to come over here and try to ask me for help, trying to touch me. And this is the time where we got the second wave of COVID or whatever. All right, there's no telling what this guy's carrying. All right. So I just think that maybe those lavish ways and spending issues need to be eradicated. We need to live below, maybe consider living below our means, being more frugal with our money, maybe to be able to try to keep our clothes longer, or maybe let's just say if we like to get our hair cut all the time, and ladies, if you like to get your hair and nails done, you may have to consider maybe spreading that out a little, all right? Or maybe there could be a friend that could do your nails, or maybe you could do your own nails and hair to hold you down. Maybe, let's say, for instance, if you like it twice a month, maybe you could consider one time a month. Things maybe like smoking and stuff like that, and I don't know, going out to eat. I think that some of that stuff needs just to get cut back. You don't need to do that stuff. And you guys, all right, fellas out there that may have, more than one woman or whatever, okay? And again, I'm not trying to condone this or promote this at all, but let her come to you sometimes, all right? Or if you see that she's not, or he is not reciprocating the same interest, maybe that person not good for you, okay? That's not the best person for you. You don't want to put all this time and money into somebody, and you don't want to feel like that person's not reciprocating the same interest. The person that probably is reciprocating is the same interest is probably the person that you want to probably to consider being with more often. Otherwise, then what's the point? So, I feel for the people that are going through these situations, just some tips that can be able to help you maybe if you're in that situation, probably survive longer with your money. And if you have money set aside, okay, or you could set some aside, and when you get enough set aside, maybe you can do more in the future, more of that. Sometimes you have to go through some things to acquire some things. Just put it like that. And you gotta act like this government is not taking care of you, all right? You gotta kind of play like that there, that nothing's gonna happen until it happens, with them going back and forth with this stimulus or whatever. So, hey, find another way, figure out a way that you can optimize your skills, where you can maybe, get some type of gig or whatever, and maybe you can make money having your own business, if you can. A few tips. I'll get around to do some tips on another video. So if you like this video, feel free to subscribe. You can leave your comments, like, share, tell other people about this channel, and you can check out some of the other videos if you like. All right, though. All right, hope you guys are having a good day. You guys stay safe, mask up, and be thankful for what you have, and always keep the Most High first. All right, I'm out.